Hi, I'm Shawn, and this is my final Action Learning Project presentation. My project took place in a military governmental setting. Therefore, it's acronym heavy and jargon dense. I did produce a 14-page companion guide with an appendix on page 7 that breaks down all the terms and the definitions that you'll see and hear in this presentation. The Support Maintenance Shop Inspector course was a 10-day class offered by my organization. The challenge the SMSIC work group was tasked with was to take the 10-day course and change it back to a 5-day course. This was a potentially volatile change for the SMSIC work group because they had spent almost 2 years changing the original 5-day course to a 10-day course as instructed by leadership. So they were very frustrated at the prospect of changing back to the original format after they had already spent so much time and effort on the 10-day version of the course. I fully integrated with the SMSIC work group during the home stretch of this transition as a change consultant and really as a dialogue facilitator. The SMSIC work group was comprised of 8 employees, including me, 2 uniformed military service members, 4 Department of the Army civilians, and then 2 governmental contractors as well. The big delineation within the SMSIC work group can be seen here on this slide, and it was definitely divided into 2 factions with different priorities in the group. On the one side were the instructors, Scott 1, Connie, and Scott 2. Then on the other side were the developers comprised of Suzanne, Patrick, and Carmen. There was a lot of friction between Scott 1 and Suzanne, especially at first they wouldn't even talk to each other. Jim and I served as moderators for the group, and Scott 2 actually came along and helped out as a moderator for a while as well. Steve was the senior course developer and final validation authority for the finished redesigned course. For initial change action plan, I used both the DVFR and also the force field analyses. Although there was resentment towards leadership and friction among the group members, the elements needed to overcome resistance were either present already or quickly culminated during our group sessions together. The group knew that it couldn't remain satisfied with the status quo. The vision to move forwards was actually pretty well supplied by the leadership at first. And then being a highly mechanistic and machine metaphor-driven organization, the first steps were also quickly realized and put into play. During the force field analysis, we also further defined 4 more resistance factors and the corresponding change drivers that ultimately were needed for the SMSIC work group to be motivated and have the inertia to get the change accomplished. The SMSIC workshop implementation stages came in the form of 5 1- to 2-hour sessions. They were packed into really 1 month in which to implement the overall change and to launch the 5-day pilot course of the redesigned course. The overall change could only occur after we made 3 nested sub-changes to the curriculum. These were achieved by using the backwards design model. Thus, the course architecture was reverse engineered through changing the summative assessment, the formative assessments, and finally the course content. We achieved these changes via 3 intensive sessions, which were indeed a lesson in advocacy versus inference. Everyone had to make concessions, compromises, and sacrifices in order to reduce the course back down to its 5-day structure. The SMSIC workshop accomplished its task in the end. The 5-day pilot course debuted on April 15th as scheduled, and it concluded on April 19th, and now, coming up on May 1st, it awaits validation by Steve. We were successful at eliminating resistance forces 3 and 4. The group got back out of its comfort zone and embraced the change back to the 5-day format, and we greatly reduced inter-team friction between the instructors and the developers. The resentment towards leadership and also the distrust still lingers a bit, but we've greatly reduced those as well. Finally, during my conversation with Steve, our senior developer and SMSIC validator, he supplied me with this great quote that really captures the spirit not only of my project, but also our entire semester together. The critical skill is being able to keep up with and stay ahead of changes within change. This was a very valuable project to be part of, mainly because I'm studying to become a course developer myself in the future. This project really provided a learning experience that integrated school and work in a very practical, functional, and realistic way. Thank you.